Well, my name is William Furlong, and I established and edited Audio Arts as well as working as an artist parallel to working on Audio Arts. We're sitting in the room I call a studio, which is what it is. It has all the equipment that I need to produce Audio Arts. I worked on this machine and all the editing was blade, 45 degrees, cut tape, stick back together again. And this is where the archive of Audio Arts was held before it went to the Tate. I started by making recordings with artists, always being interested in what they did, and the interview was really only to get them to define and explain and talk about what they did. I rather don't like the word explain, but talk about and describe what they did. And from that I then produced a series of audio tapes which were transferred onto cassette and duplicated. So immediately you had a kind of a distributable unit.
Okay, so I'm Jack Maynard and I'm the Audio Arts Conservator, and it's my job to digitise the Audio Arts archive. So we've got about 300 boxes of material here, which start about here and stretch right down to the end of this set of shelving. This is some of the quarter-inch tape material, both the master tapes and the original unpublished recordings which were edited together to produce the master tapes, to produce the magazine. So I think the reason Tate was interested in the Audio Arts material is that it represents something very unique in terms of a record of artist practice over the last 30, 40 years. And also it's unique in that it represents an actual documentation of artists' voices.
Yes, for instance, I can speak about a revolutionary model now. I could not do it in Russia. Here I can do it. But because why I can do it is not a result of the politicians, it is a result from tradition. It stems from the bourgeois revolution, the French Revolution, with her ideals, freedom, equality, brotherhood. There's a bit of heritage here, yes? I need now the heritage.
I mean, as I say, I was very impressed with Joseph Beuys. I learned a lot from him, which is, as I was saying, how he related his artistic practice to aspects of the world and life and society, and how he could draw all that into his practice. And then other artists like Richard Hamilton, it was just very interesting to find an artist able to describe what he did so lucidly.
I had also a quite clear-cut theoretical model for this, in that among the things that were being discussed at the independent group was non-Aristotelian logic. And I was very taken with this idea that you could go about your business without saying whether something was good or bad.
You know, a lot of the people I've worked with now are mega names, but then they weren't.
I'm in the South London Gallery with Tracy Emin in her exhibition, which is titled I Need Art Like I Need God.
About a couple of years ago I was down in Margate walking along the beach and I had a piece of chalk, and instead of writing some sort of usual graffiti thing, I actually wrote I need art like I need God. And at that moment I realised that it was probably the truest statement I'd ever made to myself.
They're not sound studio recordings, and that's always been important, to do those recordings on location in specific contexts. It gives it authenticity, I think.
807-7944.
I'm talking to John Cage in New York. John, you composed a piece that was performed the other evening as part of the Ear Benefit concert at St Bartholomew's Church.
I called it Ear for Ear, thinking of the omission in the Bible of ear for ear. They say tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye, but they didn't say anything about the ear.
You know, the whole point of Audio Arts is it reflects the way in which we all communicate through speech. And that's what it is. It's a focus and a celebration of speech and learning through talking to someone.